Mm. Hey, Starry. Hey, River's here. Hey, River. It's good to see you. How you doing? It's nice to see you. Do you know I learned Goku is 65 years old today? All this time I just assumed Goku was just some young person. When I say some young person, I'm thinking 20s and 30s. That's what I think most people are, just young on this app. Um, I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm doing great. Um, I think I'm going to go water some plants. It's a nice day, actually. Isn't that funny? Hey, Goku, I was just talking about you to River. I was like, yeah, I just assumed Goku was in her 20s to 30s because, like, I just assume most people on this app are young, and that's, to me, young is 20s to 30s. Um, oh, I got a guest request, but they disappeared. It was a recent person, too. Maybe they changed their mind. I'll tell you, I'm so sick of the repeats because yeah, most of the time. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back already. I'm totally back already. Oh, it's like 80 degrees here. I just looked. It's 80 degrees. There's a high UV warning though. So the sun, you could really feel the sun. I'm wearing my bandana when I go outside to protect my beautiful head. Um, I did, Danja. I did. I decided because I only went live for like 28 minutes, and usually an hour is about my limit. I'm like, I still feel good. I'll go live again. Um, hey, silly's a good word. Silly's a good word. Sharon, you're in New Jersey, right on. I'm in beautiful Washington State. Um, I hear you say that you're a Trump supporter and you don't have any hate. Trump made a political issue out of trans people, specifically out of trans people. He turned less than 1% of the population. Oh, right on, Goku. Um, are you from Seattle, DJ? He turned less than 1% of the population into a political issue. He demonized them. His party demonized them. He demonized their health care. They demonized the parents and the doctors that treat children with gender dysphoria. He wouldn't shut up about trans people. At every rally, he spoke about trans people. Every campaign stop. The Republican Party spent over $215 million on TV ads during Trump's campaign, anti-trans TV ads during Trump's campaign. So, yeah, I hear, hey, I support Trump. No hate, though, no hate. It hits me as like a lie. It hits me as a lie, or just like, you know, like you're going to be complicit with everything that man does. You're going to overlook all the terrible shit he does. What for? Eggs for your gas prices? Yeah, I don't want your love. If no hate, yeah, we don't want your allyship. You're not an ally. Um, River, thank you for the mute. I didn't even get a River so fast. That guy wrote some bullshit, and I started to read it, and I didn't get to read it because River got it. Um, hey, them best president ever. Um, I got someone named Sharon in the guest request. I think is Sharon the person from New Jersey? Was that who I was talking to? I don't pay a lot of attention when I'm talking to the chat. Sharon, are you the Trump supporter from New Jersey? Was that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, I wasn't
I
sure because I usually people comment and they don't request, and so I wasn't. I for a second I'm like, wait a second, I need to
listen,
ask your age, please.
listen here. Listen, I didn't like a lot of stuff Biden did. I lost a cousin because he opened those entries. Okay, but I don't hate anybody because I'm a follower of Christ. But I'm not gonna hate on the president. Do I agree with him? No. Do I agree with Biden did? No. Do I agree with all this hate and right and left stuff? No. And I'm from Jersey. I would.
Okay, I just dropped her chat. Oh, look, I got another guest request, so let's see who's up next. Oh, DJ, I'm going to bring you up, but I could tell you're a friendly, and I am looking to talk to Trump supporters. I know, and I dropped her right off the bat, chat. I know, I said I'm looking to talk to Trump supporters, and I just dropped her. I got to do better. I gotta get this Elvis to boot thing going on better. Hey, DJ, what's up? How you doing?
Good. I just wanted to come up and say hi. How are you doing? And how are you enjoying the weather right now? We're supposed to be in the 80s next week.
Are you in Seattle? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I'm a little
I'm
north of Seattle.
well, actually, my friends are in Tequila in Seattle, but I'm in Eastern Washington, so it's
Oh,
totally
okay.
different. It's totally different weather, but it's 80 degrees today and it's gorgeous.
Oh,
DJ,
wow.
yeah, I
Yes.
love it. Let me get your age, and I gave you a follow back.
Yeah, so I am 52 from Washington State, and I voted for Miss Harris.
Well, of course, you better have. I am looking just to talk to disagreeer, so I'm going to drop
Yep.
you down. But thank you
No,
for
no
joining.
problem. I just wanted to pop up and say hi.
I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Santa. Have a good
You're
day.
welcome. Likewise. Okay, thank you. Thanks for being here, Chad. 87 people, not too shabby. 2.2. 2.2 is pathetic. Please give me some taps. You don't have to like me to tap me. That sounded funny. You don't have to like me to tap me. You just really, that's not the case. Give me some taps. Try using your non-dominant hand. Use your left hand if you're left-handed. I mean, if you're right-handed. Yeah, use your right hand if you're left-handed. Give it a little exercise. It might feel like more fun. How is it not a choice? Randy, being LGBTQ, all of these things are inherent. So these are inherent qualities people have. The choice is that I had to, like when I was a 19-year-old university student, I had to let myself know that I was gay because I wouldn't let myself know I was gay. Thanks for the invite up. So I had to like unpack all of that, and then I had to share who I was with the people that I loved. So those were choices, like to be honest about who I am, right? To have a really great sex life. Yeah, I'm choosing that. Trans people don't choose to be trans, of course not. The choice would be the same. Like they choose to live authentically. They choose to let the people in their lives know what they're going through. Um, and the reason trans people transition is because it makes them happier. That's it right there. It makes them happier. Happier people are better for society. Trans people make a decision that makes their life almost guaranteed happier and harder. And that's an important thing for Americans to learn. This idea that happier means easier, that's an American thing. That is not how most people in the world think. Oftentimes, the harder choices, the harder life leads to a happier outcome. Hey, why is anyone's preference or issue anyone else's problem? It's not. Trump made a political issue out of trans people. He literally made a political issue out of trans people. Um, day one in office, he starts doing his executive orders, right? He's doing executive orders saying there's only two genders, male and female. That's absolutely disgusting. That right there is a direct attack on trans people, intersex people, two-spirit people, right? It's a lie. It's a lie he did. Day one. I got someone named Ghost in the guest request, and do you know what's terrible? Is this person's PFP looks familiar. They got a cross. They got a glowing cross. Chat, I get all these people that are like, hey, Ghost, how old are you and how you doing?
I'm 29. I'm good. From Tennessee. What's up, man?
What's up? Have we spoken before?
No,
No, okay. Well, are you a Trump supporter?
I am. Yeah.
Right on. Well, I say right on because I am looking to talk to Trump supporters. So why all the hatred for the LGBTQ?
I don't hate them. I just, I think that's a. I really don't. I think that's kind of the problem of where a lot of people are getting this misinformation of thinking that people hate them and they don't. They just don't want to be subjected to other people's subjective views on themselves. Like if you want to be something you want to be, then do it. Fine. But you cannot expect me to abide by your, subjective.
Okay, well, I get that you're saying that. I hear what you're saying. Gender affirming care, the medical care, when you're saying, oh, do what you want. If you're a grown person, do what you want. It's already through an executive order. Trump tried to ban it for anyone who's 19 and under. And that's in a way to attack adults from their health care. The Supreme Court just ruled that gender affirming care can be banned as a state's issue, and it's not discriminatory. So pretty soon, states are going to outlaw that care for adults, right? Trump has demonized trans people. He spoke about trans people and their health care at every single rally. You're saying, hey, I don't give a fuck. Let people do what they want to do. I get that. That's an American thing, right? You can't say that while the guy is taking away trans people's rights and their health care and turning them into a political issue. In fact, that should be an old red flag for you. You shouldn't be complicit with that. If your views are do you. It's America. You should not be complicit with what Trump is doing.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. Actually, I do. Again, but the only thing would be where it would be like, again, that I think that the people have the biggest problem would be the pushing it in everything, whether it's politics, media, music, whatever. I mean, you can say that same thing straight people. We shouldn't be pushing that in anything. So if trans people are who they say they are,
Heterosexuality is doing Ghost. Heterosexuality is absolutely our culture and media is saturated with heterosexuality. I just saw Superman yesterday. My mom took me to it. She's going to be 71 here soon. Whenever they started making out, Lois and Clark Kent, I would go like this and put my hand over her eyes just to tease her. So yeah, this idea that heterosexuality is not like shoved down our faces. Literally, children are groomed into being little heterosexual cisgendered people. You know.
no, that's what I'm saying. I absolutely agree with you about that. My question to you is, why not just take out both of them? Why not? Why if it's not indoctrination, why does LGBTQ need to be pushed so hard on children? And that's the same with
I want to understand this because who is pushing it on children? And you can. And I want to be clear, right? You can't push somebody into being LGBTQIA. I know plenty of straight parents that raise their kids with inclusive values. They told their kids from a very early age, hey, you can be gay, you could be trans. Look, we got this guy here, he's gay, he's our friend, right? All their kids turned out straight. Yeah, the push is for representation, for access to healthcare, for anti-bullying, for history to be taught. It's not like, when is this being pushed on children? Because that's the thing that y'all believe, is that like children are being pushed. And I want to be clear. Y'all say, they shouldn't learn about this at school. They should learn about it at home. Is that what you say, Ghost?
I say let the kids, even at home, let them be kids. Why do they have the need to know this?
Well, I'll tell you. This is the thing about America. First off, the kids already know it. I knew probably by the first or second grade what the F slur was, and nobody wanted to be called it. Parents that say don't bring it up at school, they don't want their kids taught to be inclusive or accepting of people that they hate. That's why they bring it up. If it was in America and people got to say how you could raise kids, I'd say no more indoctrinating children into Christian mythology from day one. It messes them up. It turns them into bigoted, unkind people. They lose their critical thinking skills because they believe in all this bullshit, and they have to unpack it their whole lives if they can. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's America. There's going to be queer representation in media because there's queer people making media. There's people that make media that love queer people. There's going to be queer teachers. It's just a thing, right? And your Republican Party is digging their heels in, and they're trying to make an issue out of just regular people.
So would you be okay with
Regular people.
So would you be okay with, since we need representation of what you just said, of queer people, of these things, fine, but would you be okay with representation of Christianity more in schools, like such as Bibles, if teachers want to hand out Bibles, the Ten Commandments in schools? Oh, you don't like that, do you?
No, the thing is you trying to compare a category of people that exists, a category of American people that have fought for their rights and have a history. You're trying to compare that to a religious mythology. And guess what? In Texas, all the lawmakers in Texas just made it legal that there has to be the Ten Commandments in every damn classroom. They passed that law. They passed that law on a Sunday, which is breaking the Ten Commandments. And all the men that passed that law have been married multiple times, which means they're adulterers, right? So
Well,
that's absolutely bullshit. What?
That's personal sin. There's a difference between communal sin and personal sin, right?
Well, you know what, Ghost? I want you to know, because you said you had this belief. You don't give a fuck about people doing their own thing. Mm-hmm. If you have that belief, you should not want religion in schools. You should absolutely not want religion in schools. It's antithetical to American values. It's very much a slippery slope. That's the kind of stuff you get to teach your children at home. If you want your kids to have a religious education, you're welcome to put them in a religious school. It's very much a thing.
Well, to be fair and to be frank, and by the way, thank you for being so polite. But to be fair, I would also say a little fun fact about me. I do want people to do whatever they want to do, but I am a Christian nationalist. Yes. I know it's crazy, right? But yes, proudly.
Do you know what's funny? What does that mean to you? Tell me what are you what do
That
you
means I believe that Christian beliefs and core values should be pushed into every aspect of our lives, because my God is King, and He will not be mocked, and every tongue will confess.
Okay, fuck you and your God. Fuck you and your God. Christian mythology hurts this country. It's anti-American. This guy wants to turn our country into God. I don't know what. Do you know? Here we go. Christianity is a harmful mythology. Chat. The proof is in the pudding. Listen to these Christian Trump supporters, and you'll see what kind of people they are. Right? You can't be a Christian nationalist and come up here and say, "Oh, you do you. I just don't need to conform to you doing you." Right? Hey, you get to raise your kids to be bigots. You get to take your kids to churches where they tell people to take gay people's lives. Right? They're not paying taxes. They're telling you to line gay people up and convict them of the abomination of homosexuality and sentence them to their life ending. In your churches, right? You get to do that because it's America. You don't get to put it in our fucking schools. Shame on you. Disgusting. He's saying they're pushing it in schools, or he wants to turn our country into a Christian state. Gross. I got someone named David up next. David, when you join, I'm going to need your age, please. Hey, chat. Give me a follow. If you haven't followed me on Gay Santa, I go live regularly. Hit the follow button, maybe a copy link, and do some taps. I am collecting little gay tiny velociraptors. Blah. Okay, David, how old are you?
55.
Okay. Thanks for joining. Are you a Trump supporter?
I am, but I'm an atheist Trump supporter, so you don't have to worry about said Christian right-wing whack job stuff.
Well, did you see the last guest? Thanks for that, Mika, for the dinosaur. Did you see that last guest?
Yeah, you gotta watch them guys. They're nuttier than squirrel shit sometimes.
Well, so what's your take on the LGBTQ? Because your party, Trump especially, has cashed in on transphobia and made trans people into a political issue. And I highly doubt that he gives a fuck about trans people or trans kids or their medical care or trans women in sports. He wants to get bigoted people voting. This is what I take. That's my take.
Well, it's kind of one of those 80-20 issues that when you had the Leah Thomas thing in the swimming and the guys competing in the female sports.
Yeah, Fallon Fox and Leah Thomas are the two athletes that from years ago that people still talk about. Yeah. Go ahead.
When the trans group kind of set themselves up on a losing battle on that stuff.
Well, I want to ask you because this is a misunderstanding from people that feel this way. The trans group did not put trans people in women's sports. There's no trans group that did that. The people that make the rules for sports, the people that study the science behind sports, they're the ones that did the research that said, hey, these people, they're athletes after a trans woman blocks her testosterone for 2 to 3 years and has as much bioidentical estrogen as her cisgender counterparts, the biological advantage has been lost. That's what.
Well, that's not.
I want to say that's what the science said. It wasn't a political issue. Those few people being in sports wasn't meant to be a political issue. They made it based on science. And you know what? I wish they wouldn't have, because of all of this, because of all this shit going on in this country. And you feel so strongly about Leah Thomas in sports. And I'm not an athlete, right? I don't know any trans people. I know trans people. I don't know any of them that care about sports. I didn't grow up loving sports. People are athletes because they love the sport. They love the competition. They've been doing it their whole lives, right? I wish that decision, and I suspect, David, that in the future, only trans women that don't have male puberty. What I mean by that is trans women that get affirmed as children and then they get their puberty suppressed and they have a female puberty, they would have zero biological advantages when it came to cisgender girls that are born female. So,
well, you remember you're in about my age bracket. You remember the 1970s and 60s, 70s, and 80s Olympics where the East German woman shot put team came out and looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, how much doping are you going to do? I mean, you start going down the slope of medical this and medical that. Why
David,
can't we just leave
David.
it biological the way that it has always been?
David, well, here's the thing. Trump turned it into a political issue, so people like you would vote for it. I'm telling you, it's not a political issue, it's a science issue. You're trying to conflate trans women who block their testosterone to cisgendered women cheating and
But
taking a bunch of testosterone. I'm telling you, I've told you, I suspect because of all this controversy, I suspect that in the future, trans women will not be in women's sports unless they access that care as a minor, unless they don't have a male puberty. That's my take on it. And I wish, that all you know is one swimmer, and you think that like this is the thing that turn out to vote for. And I'm telling you, it's bullshit. And you fell for it. You fell for it, David.
That wasn't the main reason I voted on, and I'm just giving you my opinion because that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
The huge issue is when you start tossing the word science around. You can get 3 scientists to tell you something completely different. I mean, heaven forbid. I mean, let's look at COVID. How much the word science was pressed around by that, and how much harm that the vaccines have done. And I mean, science is a very muddled up kind of experience. You can get science to tell you whatever you want it to tell you.
Well, I'm telling you, it's not a because you made the claim that the trans group messed up by putting themselves in sports, and I told you there was just a few athletes, and the people that allowed the rules to include them were the scientists that make the rules. And I'm telling you, it was turned into a political issue by your party.
I agree.
Why should
I agree with you.
Trans people are less than 1% of the population. We're talking about trans athletes. We're talking about 4 out of like hundreds and hundreds of thousands. I can't remember the exact amount. A fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent. And no, they shouldn't have been made into a political issue. The people that make the rules should have looked into it, right? The Democratic Party wasn't like, we're here to put trans women in sports. They just didn't mention it because it's not a political issue. It's people, marginalized people that are athletes. What sports should they play in, right? Here's the thing, David. It's been turned into a political issue, and you think it is a political issue, and you think that the Dems are supporting it, and they're the ones pushing trans women into women's sports when it's not even a thing. It's absolutely not a thing. I'll tell you what, I'll give you sports if you let trans people use the fucking bathroom and access their health care. How about that?
Okay. That was my next comment. You also have this stuff. You do realize that about 5 to 10 years ago, this was called gender dysphoria, and it was in the DSM.
It's still in the DSM, and it's still called gender dysphoria. They're changing the name, I think, in the next edition, but it's still called gender dysphoria, and it's still in the DSM. Gender dysphoria does not equal transgender. You don't need to be transgender to have gender dysphoria. Not all trans people have gender dysphoria, and the treatment for gender dysphoria is the medical care that y'all are taking away. Just letting you know.
Well, that is clearly a matter of opinion. You're talking about removing breasts and puberty blockers and sterilizing children. The science is still out on a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
That's why most of the European countries have already.
You're saying so much misinformation. You're absolutely saying so much information. The European countries where they have socialized medicine are reconsidering how they're doing things. They have not cut off the care. They're gatekeeping it more.
They have totally different. I just got back from.
Oh, no. I let you say enough bullshit, right? And this is from the Mayo Clinic. I'm going to read this for the chat because you're making a false claim. Gender affirming care is medically necessary. It's safe healthcare backed by decades of research, and it's supported by every major medical association in America, representing 1.3 million U.S. doctors. So, David, medical science does say that this is necessary and safe healthcare, and you voting Republicans, you don't know about the science. You don't know about the kids that are sick. You don't know about their outcomes. You don't care more than the parents. You're turning other people's sick kids into a political issue. Shame on you. Shame on you, David. He's still muted. I don't know if he knows how to unmute himself. This is the latest study. This is just from last year. This is from JAMA Pediatrics. JAMA is a Journal of American Medical Associations. I already told you they all agree it's medically necessary and safe. This is 10 years in, specifically on transgender teenagers receiving the puberty blockers and the HRT that this guy's so pissed off about, right? 4% experienced some sort of a regret rate. Thank you, Dareth. 97% continued accessing this healthcare. That's huge for healthcare. This, if you talk to trans people, they'll tell you it's right. David, if you have American values, I'm going to unmute you. Let me change the background back. I want to ask you this. Whenever, because we're in the same age group, whenever has it been a thing that you heard a family say, you know what, those people down the street, those people that we don't know about over there, they're getting the wrong health care for their children. Those doctors don't know about this health care. We need to vote against these parents. They got these sick kids. We need to take away their health care. When has that ever been a fucking thing in America, David? Unmute yourself. I'm going to send you the invitation to unmute yourself. It's a little tiny dick-shaped button at the bottom of your phone, sweetheart. There you go. I sent it to you.
There we go.
Yeah.
I have seen Christian Scientists get arrested for denying their children health care. So we have a long history of intervening on behalf of the children.
No, it's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. David, right now, Jehovah's Witnesses, I don't know if you're aware of this, chat. Jehovah's Witnesses do not believe in blood transfusions because there's a verse in the Bible that says if you ingest blood, you'll never meet God or some bullshit, right? So when their 10-year-old kid gets into a bicycle accident, they tell the doctor, no, doctor, I know it's a medically necessary and safe blood transfusion. We have religious views. Let our child pass away on the operating table. This guy, David, how do you feel about that, David? And you know what I hate, David, is this whole like, oh, we intervene for children. Absolute bullshit. These kids don't need your intervention. They need you to leave them the fuck alone and not make a political issue out of their health care. That's what they need.
Do I get to answer any of this, or are you just gonna go on?
Do I have to have a 55-year-old man whine to me?
You like it when they whine.
I like when they moan, "Daddy." Chat,
Oh, shit.
chat. We got 13.5. Give me to 15K and I'll drop them.
Well, fuck, I'll save you the time.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to go on to the next guest. Big W Santa in the chat. You can't beat Santa. My goodness, chat. My goodness. If you haven't followed me, please do. I'm going to bring up the next guest. Thanks for the taps. This person is called Can't Handle the Truth. And there's also, I guess the sound is up next. And then Can't Handle the Truth after him. Thank you for the follow, RNA nerd. Hello, the sound, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Hey. No, nothing much. How old are you and how you doing?
Doing great. I'm 52.
Awesome. Cool. Are you a Trump supporter?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Well, good. I'm specifically looking to talk to Trump supporters. You know, you've been hanging out. You saw me talk to that last gentleman. We're all in the. I'm 49 actually. I'm going to start just saying I'm 50 though. We're all in our 50s basically. So, you're a Trump supporter. What did you think about the last conversation? What are the things you want to talk about?
Well, I think that anybody that's under 18 years old should not be able to do any of this gender transition surgery or any gender. I don't think they're mentally capable of making that decision. I believe it's detrimental to their health. I don't think it's healthcare. I think healthcare is actually medical, that actually improves somebody's health, not destroys it. I think it's child abuse.
Well, I hear what you're saying. I'm going to throw this up again because it is considered medically necessary and safe healthcare.
I don't care. I could care less what it.
Well, I'm going to talk
a bunch
to
of doctors.
The parents. Thank you for that, River. The parents that fight for this healthcare are fighting for the good outcomes of their kids. That's how healthcare works. It's very much how healthcare works. It's obvious you don't even understand the healthcare. The healthcare is about having a puberty that aligns with your identity. So when the child's around 15, after being affirmed in their identity, that means if you have a trans daughter, she's been going to school as a girl, she's been presenting as a girl, her friends know that she's a girl, she knows she's a girl, right? She's coming up on puberty, she gets the dysphoria diagnosis to safely pause her puberty, and then when she's 15, after years of gatekeeping and affirmation and long, hard conversations with her parents, she's not going to have a male puberty. She's going to have a female-induced puberty through HRT. Surgeries go against the standards of care. It's not even part of the standards of care. So, yeah, let me ask you this, because I think it's absolutely outrageous and un-American that y'all want to weigh in on, because you don't know trans people. You don't know about this health care. You think that there's some sort of conspiracy for doctors that want to like hurt children along with their parents or conspiring. Statistically, it's good healthcare. If you talk to trans people, they wish they had it. The ones that I know who have accessed it as minors are so grateful. They say it saved their life. So yeah, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Yeah, I think it's a mental health issue. I don't think people can change their gender. I mean, you're either a male or a female. You can't just because you change your mind doesn't
No,
mean that
no.
it
What?
doesn't. In other words, if I wake up tomorrow and I'll decide that I want to be a female,
Yeah.
and I go put on a Halloween costume or some women's clothes or whatever, it doesn't make me that. It's just like if I wear an astronaut
Okay.
Halloween
I
outfit,
want.
it doesn't make me. They're not. NASA's not going to let me fly
No. Here's the thing.
a
No.
spaceship.
Here, I want to correct you, and I want you to listen because this is a good opportunity for you to learn more about the conversation. You can't change your gender. You can't change your gender identity. It's a developmental stage. It's something that happens in your brain. When you were a little boy, before anyone explained genitals, you knew that you were a boy. You had already developed that part of your identity. Trans people, it happens to them too. They don't develop an identity that's congruent with their sex. They can't change their brains. They used to try to medicate them, abuse them. It's still legal. They still have conversion therapy camps legally in America. You could send your trans kids there so they could try to abuse the transness out of them, right? The medical science says, oh, wait a second. Not only could we not fix them, right? There's nothing to fix. There's nothing wrong with being trans. In fact, if these people get to live their lives and be happy and authentic, that makes them better and happier people. That's why the healthcare exists. And it's not a costume. It's not a costume. But the thing is people from our generation are very much triggered by transsexual people. They're triggered by transness. You want to say that being trans is like throwing on a dress. You think that these women, do you think these are all trans women? These are women that were assigned male at birth. Do you think that they go home and they like take off their costume and they turn into men? Is that what you think about these women?
Well, I believe it's just cosmetic surgery. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, you're just having cosmetic surgery,
most of
and I
it-
don't think. I mean,
most
if I
of it-
want,
Most of
if
it's
I
not
want to,
surgery. No,
if I want a
wanna
nose
correct
job,
you. It's not.
if I
most
want a
of it-
nose job or I want a facelift, medical, and I'm going to have to pay for that myself. I don't think that medical insurance should pay for people to have.
Thank you, River. You're going to chime in and say that you're upset that these people got insurance that covers their health care when you already said it's a mental issue. Gender dysphoria is not a mental illness. It's a disorder that you diagnose because it could be alleviated. These women, chances are, have greatly, if not totally, alleviated their gender dysphoria, and it's not about surgical intervention. Most trans people access HRT if they can. And that's not what makes them valid. These women being beautiful models is not what makes them valid. What makes a person valid is their identity. You don't need to do anything to be trans. You just need to understand who you are. That's basically it. So yeah, it's not about getting cosmetic surgery. I don't know about these women's downstairs. This is Blair White. You might like Blair White. She talks about being intact downstairs. So yeah, what makes you a man or a woman is your brain, not your body. And why do you care so much about these people accessing this health care? And in the same breath, you want to take it away. It just seems suspicious. Do you find these women attractive?
Well,
Honestly, do you find these
if
women
you're
attractive?
well, hold on. Let me. If you're under 18, absolutely not. Under no circumstances. It's child abuse. I completely disagree with it. If you're an adult,
Well, here's the thing. You're saying if you're an adult, do it. I'm telling you, they're taking it away for adults. Your party is. And I'm also telling you, when you turn 18, it's not like some magic number. The trans women go through male puberty and it's devastating to their dysphoria. It's mentally devastating to them. And then when they turn 18, they have to try to address all these changes that wouldn't have happened. And their parents are fighting for this fucking healthcare. I'm telling you what, I'm not telling you sound of reason. That my point is not, you have to affirm your kid's gender identity and you have to get them gender affirming medical care. That's not me saying I want kids to medically transition is like me saying I want kids to get chemotherapy. It's other people's kids. The doctors know better. The parents know better. They get to get the health care for their kids. The kids get to grow up and either thank them or say they fucked up. That's how it works in America. That's how healthcare works. You should agree with that. You should absolutely agree with it. And the fact that you feel so strongly about these trans kids getting health care when 1 out of 5 kids, 20% of US kids are food scarce, and you're taking away their SNAP and you're taking away the free school lunches. But you care so much about the 1 in 10,000 kids with a gender dysphoria diagnosis getting health care that might sterilize them or some bullshit. And I'm saying you're a liar, sir. I'm saying you're a liar. You don't give a fuck about these kids. You feel a certain sexual way about trans people and you don't like it. That's what I'm saying. Chat, keep the tabs up.
there's absolutely no such thing as a trans person because you can't change your gender. And gender affirming
Yeah, you can't change your gender identity, and you can't say there's no such thing as trans people because your fucking president won't shut up about them. Okay, so you're full of shit. You're absolutely full of shit.
No, they're mentally ill.
Oh, and you want to take away the health care for their mental illness, honey. Why are you so eager? Why are you such a shitty person? You're so eager to want to label people mentally ill. Why do you care so much about these people being happy? Why do you think about trans people so much? Why do you think you have a dog in this fight, sweetheart? Why you purport to care about other people's sick kids? You don't care about kids in America. You don't care about hungry kids, just as long as it doesn't come out of your pocketbook. That's what you care about. You're bitching about insurance covering health care for people that they don't need, apparently, because it's cosmetic. And then you say they're fucking mentally ill. You sound like a bigot. You sound like a bigot, and I'm sorry. I want to get a big L Gen X in the chat. L Gen X. Gen X, I'm part of it. It's awful. The good
Well,
news
you're a
is,
sick pervert, then you don't have a say in other
here's
people.
it come. You're a sick pervert. Shame on you,
You
sir.
are. You're a sick.
Shame on you. Shame on you. You can't stop thinking about trans kids. Will you block that person, please, and thank you? Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. I love the crash out, chat. I love the crash out. Shame on that man. Anyways, chat, there's 78 of us here. I appreciate you being here. River, thank you for blocking them. W. San in the chat. I got a little worked up, everyone. I got a little worked up because it's the dishonesty. It's the dishonesty of these men. Oh, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about kids being sick. He doesn't care about trans people getting health care. Oh, he wants to label them a mentally ill and call people perverts. So that is very much, if you all want to come up here and say, oh, we just love you, LGBTQ, you're full of shit. Just stick around and see some more. Thanks for that, Heart Me. Here's the deal. If you haven't followed me, please do. If you haven't followed me, please do. Hey, Empress, I'm going to make you a moderator on this account, if that's okay. And follow you back, too. I can't believe I haven't followed you back on this one, too. Okay, follow back, and you're a moderator. I requested. Chat, hey, thanks for those Heart Me thingies. I am going to end the stream and take a little break, but I'm going to be back later because I'm having fun. Let me check my stats real quick. I've been live for 36 minutes, and I got 24 new followers, chat. That is absolutely great. Hey, if I got 12 new followers right now, I'd get a follower a minute. That's a kind of a big ask. 24 in 37 minutes. That's really great. Anyways, River, thanks so much for your work. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for the follow. Freaky Frankie. Zane, thanks up for the Heart Me. I appreciate it. I'll be back here soon, chat. Thanks.